What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown Media. My name is Zach from Another Letdown and the Adjacent Hex podcast. I will be your host this evening along with my good buddy Mike, aka Broody Gambit. How's it going, man?
It is going great. Looking forward to painting some minis tonight.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's been a good day, all things considered, for me. Kind of rainy, which I like. Means productivity weather. I got some work done on a Call of Cthulhu module that I can't talk too much about right now because Broody might be playing in it. Anyway, that's a little teaser for what might be coming on the Trapped in Arkham show in the future. Not anytime soon, but once we're on the other side of the Buffy game, we are talking about doing Call of Cthulhu. Anyway, yeah, so it's been a nice, quiet, rainy New England day today. I really appreciated that, especially after yesterday starting school off, which was interesting at best. So yeah, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna paint some minis. We're gonna maybe work on some other projects and stuff like that, as well as shows that we host here on Another Letdown Media. We believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible. So any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So, let's paint some minis. I am continuing work on Brutality. I'm painting my favorite character tonight. She is an assassin. How about you? What do you got?
I am also painting an assassin, but his name is Deathstroke. I've got Deathstroke and a couple other members of the Suicide Squad primed up and ready to go, depending on how productive I feel tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this one's a little bit of a shorter stream. I mean, I only have the one mini to paint. I was at my parents' all afternoon and evening, so I didn't really have time to plan. But important reminder that in Call of Cthulhu, H-Man is dead, and as per the important lore of Old Man Henderson. That's okay, RPD. I'm okay with H-Man being dead. Sammy might beg to differ, but... yeah, I think it's fairly well documented that Deathstroke is one of my favorite villains. So I'm excited to see what you put together with him.
Yeah, he's easily one of my favorites as well. Actually, probably my favorite DC villain.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like I shared on Adam's Discord like earlier this week. I made like the random pie chart of like the best DC villains, and I deliberately did it in the like 50-50, but I did it like the half blue, half orange to resemble his mask.
Nice.
And then the thing said Deathstroke button blue.
Love it. So, if I'm not mistaken, and I will look this up, I believe Deathstroke and Nightwing debuted in the same issue, which I have 2 copies of. Googling that right now. Nope, I'm wrong. But they did debut in the same series. That was, of course, New Teen Titans. Nightwing, significantly later. But Deathstroke has always kind of been... I've always associated with him as being a Nightwing villain. Because I think he's...
I mean... I can understand that coming from like how often he tussles with the Teen Titans, but he's really just like a DC villain. Like he goes up against anybody.
That's fair. That's a fair point. There she is. Oh, hi Hatch. Okay, there's a lot going on in this mini that I'm painting tonight, as you correctly pointed out the other day.
So the first thing I'm doing with this mini is the like the reference image has like all his armor is black and orange with like maybe some slight blue highlights. I'm going for a more comic-y color and using like a turquoise to start, so it's like really blue.
Sure.
More of a comic-y color.
Yeah. That was actually the next thing I was going to ask you is, are you doing blue Deathstroke or black? So what was it we were talking about before I went live that I said let's hold this? Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
Yeah. I was messing around this afternoon with the character creation for the Sentinel Comics RPG, and was making all 4 of the turtles.
That's awesome. I can't wait to try that out. There was a time where it was being discussed to do a Turtles-centric SCRPG game. I don't really know whatever happened to that, but it was a cool idea. I want to say, I mean, I can almost guarantee that Adam had dibs on Donatello. Donnie is the best, in my opinion.
Mikey's my favorite.
You like Mikey? Yeah, well, I mean, that makes sense. Your name is Mike.
I was about to say, when you're 3 years old and the turtles are like the most popular thing, your favorite is like the one with your name. So
yeah. For me, it was it all came down to Donnie did machines, and I always liked machines. So, so some students yesterday were already discussing, because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, we could slam back into lockdown tomorrow. So they were trying, they're jumping the gun a little bit. They're planning for Halloween. And I said, oh, who do I want to be for Halloween this year? And I have always, I mean, you've seen some of my costumes. They're generally as accurate as I can make them. Given time constraints and money constraints and whatever else. And I said, I want something that really is going to kind of acknowledge where we're at right now. And, we're all wearing masks. Sports are difficult. So I believe very strongly that I will end up going for Halloween as Casey Jones this year.
Nice.
My dad has an old beat-up golf bag. I have a hockey stick and rollerblades. I have hoodies. The only thing I really need to buy is the mask. And that can't be too hard. Probably want to get on it soon, though, because otherwise they'll sell out. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people with similar ideas running around this year.
And not to mention just the basic hockey mask with like Halloween or whatever the horror movie is with that.
Yeah.
Like it's like a staple for Friday the 13th. That's the one. You can tell how much horror movies I watch.
Actually, that's an interesting story. Right before we went off to Acadia, we have a group chat that is actually blowing up right now. I should probably take a look at it. With, just sort of planning stuff. And I changed the name of it to Camp Crystal Lake. Because, 2020 has been a horror.
Yeah.
And my sister was like, oh, she had to look it up. She had to look up what Camp Crystal Lake was. And her husband knew what it was. Her daughter knew what it was, and that frightened her. And Amanda goes, Tegan, don't watch the movies that Zach is talking about right now. And Tegan goes, why? They're fake. This is a 12-year-old.
Wait. What's your sister's name?
My sister's name is Amanda.
That's an odd coincidence. Because my sister's name is Amanda also.
Well, I assume... I'm going to assume that your sister is a biological sister.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Amanda's just a really close friend that I call my sister.
Okay.
Similarly, I call her daughters my nieces.
Yeah.
Okay, so our catching up on the chat. RPD is currently working on another member of the Challenger Initiative from internal management that he realized would be too good would probably be good to have someone to be a sidekick with significantly clearer mind to practice their practice villain. And How's it going, Ian? Oh man, really? Yeah, Camp Crystal Lake is the setting of Friday the 13th. Old Jason Voorhees hangs out there. Looks like the new job, new schedule. Right on, right on, right on. Yeah, my schedule's a little whacked out right now too, because school's starting back up. Although conveniently, with school starting back up, I don't have to be at the store quite as often, which has its blessings and drawbacks. Did you see the character decks came out for Arkham, Rudy?
Yes, they released yesterday. My order should be coming in Monday, I think. There was a delay where UPS took Team Covenant's entire subscription on a 3,000-mile round trip around the country before bringing it to their warehouse. So they were a couple days late shipping them out.
Interesting.
But as long as I know I'll get them, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. It's like, I know Mike will get the stuff that I need. My boss, Mike, will get the stuff in that I ordered. It's just a matter of when he's got the ability to do so. And right now, I'm just like, all right, well, I haven't been to the store in 7 days anyway. Not important. So I'm working with Screamer Pink right now as my base coat. I tell you, it is so nice to not be working with the same old tired base colors.
Yeah, I always like finding models where I can use less common colors like pinks and other things like that. I'm actually kind of excited about using the turquoise on Deathstroke because it's one that I don't use that often.
Yeah. So I mentioned it to you, but I don't know if I mentioned it to the chat yet. And chat, feel free to jump in on this conversation. This is a good conversation topic. We were talking today at dinner. I was at my parents for dinner. About people who are interesting. So yesterday I told the story on the Arkham show about how I was rescued from a conversation trap with Sean Astin by James Marsters from Buffy. And I was telling that story again at dinner, and my mom said, oh, I don't know anything. I've never really met any famous people. And I was like, well, we ran into that one guy whose name I don't remember, Richie something, at Burger King once. And she goes, okay, yeah, there was that. And then my wife brought up a documentary she's watching narrated by Morgan Freeman, who, of course, we all know is the ultimate narrator. Especially considering, he's often kind of loosely associated with God, or with playing God. And so the conversation evolved into, if there was any one celebrity, past, present, or future, well, past or present, that you could interview and have them respond in one and be 100% real with you, who would it be? And I said Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue or something like that. Someone who has seen some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think you'd go with?
That's a tough one. Any celebrity, so it's not just actors or anything like that. It's just
kind of wide open.
Man, that is a really tough question.
Isn't
I'm
it?
not sure. I'm not sure who I'd like instinctively want to ask anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a while to come up with Nikki.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I don't know. Given how much like I grew up loving watching his movies, I was kind of always a big fan. Getting a chance to chat with Will Smith would be interesting.
That would be really cool. I agree with you. My dad kept saying like, "Oh, so and so is way too deep, or way too deep, or not deep enough." I'm like, but does that matter? Like, interesting people are just interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, the idea of interviewing the members of Monty Python came out at some point, and I was like, yeah, that'd be really fun. And again, like, to have for them to be forced to be real with you, you're gonna get some really, really interesting answers that you did not expect.
Yeah. I was about to say, what would one of the ones that would be fun if they have to be like completely honest with you? Given like his mixed reactions with a lot of stuff, talking to Harrison Ford about like Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and where he can't lie to you how he actually feels about a lot of it, I'd like to get some of the interesting stories from behind the scenes there.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, RPD. That is exactly like. But that, amongst other things, like he has some really, really interesting philosophies on music and music writing that I would love to pick his brain about. We're referring to Nikki Sixx. Even when he was completely like strung out, whacked out on drugs, he was just unbelievably articulate. And I can't even wrap my head around that. You'd think it'd be exactly the opposite, you know? Okay. Brutality really loves capes, and I don't. As a painter, no capes!
Yeah, they're really difficult. Considering I do so many superhero type stuff, I have to do capes all the time, and it's always frustrating.
Small capes are one thing, but these big giant capes are really a pain. Capes are difficult, RPD. David Hasselhoff would be interesting. Tommy Wiseau would be interesting. Macaulay Culkin would be interesting. Now I'm like down this rabbit hole of
People you'd like to talk to?
Yeah. Or just like obscure people. I think the keys here is who is an expert on a topic. Yeah. I want to know what it's like to have performed on the Berlin Wall in such an iconic performance and become part of a nation's stereotype. Yeah.
So what I'm about to do with Deathstroke, or what I do with a lot of things, orange I have a hard time always getting to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually going to throw a base of yellow and then do a layer of orange on top of it.
Yeah, I do a lot of that too. Yellow with a red ink sometimes works too.
Mm-hmm.
I painted a lot of dwarfs back in the day, Warhammer dwarfs. So they have the Slayers, which have obnoxiously orange beards. And I went through like 4 techniques before I found one that I really liked. And it did involve a base coat of yellow. And then orange on top. With a red ink in between.
Now the sculpt on this model is great, but the swords are so flimsy.
Yeah, I'm noticing similar about this model. Her legs are so skinny that they don't feel like they're attached to the base very well.
Mm-hmm.
Which is odd because it's a single 3D printed model.
Did you 3D print it yourself, or?
No, it came this way. Part of the kit. Or part of the game. My 3D printer remains broken.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get one for a while and just haven't.
Yes, and that does indeed work with most colors. Sorry, Bree.
No, not a problem. What was the question?
Just does the color spectrum thing work? Yes, it does. It was really interesting, and Adam and I talked about this weeks ago. One of the biggest level ups that I've had as a painter was honestly going to college and taking a bunch of art classes. Which sort of taught me color theory and all that.
Yeah, I was never much of an art person growing up. My dad is very artistic, and he's also an engineer and very math oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister's very artistic, while I'm very math oriented and stuff. So I kind of thought that got split between the two of us, where I got my dad's math and engineering, and my sister got his art.
Yeah.
But when in college, I took inorganic chemistry as part of my chemistry degree, and started learning the subatomic electron spins and stuff that create color wave spectrums and how they actually interact. And learning at it from that direction gave me such an appreciation for what my sister did, knew from color theory and stuff.
Yeah.
That when I learned about it from a molecular level, it helped me understand a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's really interesting that you bring that up because, like, I learned a lot of that too. I took a product design class, which was a bit of a engineering, art, digital, digital. Sorry, digital arts and science hybrid course. That really gave me an appreciation for both sides of that coin. Because it was a cross-curricular class that, like, you could take it if you were an engineer, you could take it if you were a communications major, you could take it as digital arts, and everybody who took the course brought something different to the table, and it was just really fascinating to learn how the engineering people, I should say. I have a science degree. My degree is in digital arts and science. Well, technical communication with a focus in filmmaking. But I took a lot of digital arts courses as well because our professor was so good. Did you ever have one of those professors that you just loved everything that they did and you just wanted to take all their classes, whether it made sense to you or not?
Kind of.
Kind of. Go on.
And by kind of, I took archery every year in college.
Okay.
Like every semester. Like, the first time I ever shot a bow, like, I had gone out, found a bamboo stick, strung it up myself, made arrows, and, like, shot archery. I was, like, 8 years old.
Yep.
And, have loved archery ever since. And I ended up taking it in college, and just loved the coach, and ended up just taking archery with him, like, every semester that I could manage it.
That's awesome.
By the time I was a senior, he was actually having me teach instead of him. He was there to supervise, but he was like, "Here, Michael, go ahead, explain all this stuff, and demonstrate to everyone how to do it all."
That's terrific, man. No, we had our digital arts professor. Like, literally, everybody wanted to take his courses. They were in such high demand because he was so good. He would set, like, very reasonable expectations for you, but the way he went about, like, critiquing you and pushing you to improve meant that you just wanted to improve constantly. But his expectations never went up. Or, like, I mean, they did, but, like, not unreasonably. He knew what you could do, and he knew how to get it out of you. And I shouldn't say knew. He knows. I mean, I talk to him all the time. He's actually a board game designer now.
Nice.
He's got a game called Distilled that he's working on. He and I completely agree with you. Cross-discipline classes are definitely the best way to learn. And that goes for, elementary school right on up. Why I love that my title is Technology Integrator, which implies to me that I go into other people's classes and help them build technology into their normal curriculum. Mega Man music punctuating my statement.
Mega Man.
There are a lot of paths to knowledge. That is true. Alright. How am I going to get this brush in there? I guess we're going in from this side. Oh boy. I guess I gotta go back to a smaller brush. Oh. Oy. So I did finally watch the Stargirl finale last night.
Yeah, what'd you think?
It wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't bad. I think the important parts were a little rushed, and the unimportant parts were a little too plentiful.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved the bit at the end that I won't spoil for anybody who's intending to watch it. But it does involve one of my favorite comedic actors. Normally comedic actors. I guess he's trying for something new here. And I hope he has a bigger presence in season 2. From what I understand, the CW actors have reported back to Vancouver.
Oh, have they?
Yep. One of the leads from Riverdale was on Fallon the other night talking about heading back and dropping into quarantine.
They're actually having to do quarantine up there?
Yeah, so it sounds like they're doing... they can go up now, and they're in quarantine for 2 weeks, and then they can start shooting. They're in a bubble very similar to what professional sports are doing. I'm not sure I disagree with you, Ian. I find that the CW TV shows keep me, or CW superhero shows, keep me sane during the school year, because it's just a welcome distraction at the end of what is almost invariably very long days. So there's something to be said for sameness. I got that cloak done. There you go, looks pretty rad. Impressively cacophonous rendition of the Mega Man 1 boss theme, yeah. Actually, I think Adam sent me some new Mega Man music that I gotta add to the playlist. I'm not gonna do it right now, but...
For the future?
Huh? Yeah, for future.
For the future, have it?
Yep. Well, I mean, in order to do it, I would have to kill your overlay, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. What? All right. I think we're gonna move on to Mornfang Brown, one of our most celebrated colors here on the show.
Yep, I'm planning on using it later for me.
Exactly. That's what I like about it. Mental popcorn. I'm gonna have to remember that phrase. I also use a lot of like British panel shows for the same purpose. Strongly recommend the show Taskmaster. That's what I'm watching right now. Almost entirely available on YouTube, which is wonderful. For a myriad of reasons, one of which I can plug my iPad directly into the projector rather than having to Chromecast it. Not that Chromecasting is a problem, just not necessarily what I want to do every time I want to watch a TV show. This assassin has like 18,000 knives. Just like everywhere.
You can never have too many knives.
Never have too many knives. Well, I mean, I suppose you could if you're the one being stabbed by them.
Yes. I mean, Julius Caesar had too many knives.
Julius Caesar had too many knives. Which, incidentally, Julius Caesar, one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. If not my single favorite. As a librarian, I'm understandably quite fond of the Bard.
For the time being, the Slade is looking more like he's in the X-Men.
Speaking of X-Men, I started watching the 90s X-Men cartoon today.
Yeah?
I love it.
Did
Like-
Morph die yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm like 4 or 5 episodes in now. God, it's fun. Like, the dialogue is so corny,
Yeah, it is.
but I think that's part of its charm, to be honest.
I mean, it's a '90s animated like half-hour commercial.
Yep.
So of course the dialogue's cheesy.
Yeah. The voice acting is like decidedly B-rate. What?
When did that come out? '94?
97.
Wow, that late.
Mm-hmm. According to Disney Plus. I feel like it seems earlier to me. Oh my god. As I work my way around the assassin's body, I can tell where the sculptors just kind of threw in the towel. This will never be seen. Yeah, well, you're wrong. And her leg wraps. Oh, nope, she does have feet poking out of those. We're facing Magneto. Too many knives. Yeah, that's true.
You can have plastic knives.
Oh, we are definitely getting some attention from Jasco Games on the post
yeah?
he made. Yeah.
That's good.
I'm so excited to do, just a ton of Buffy game. Like that was a super sick system. And I love the team we've got too. Like everybody is just super entertaining and we work really well together. Greg needs to work on not talking over everybody, but he also knows it, and that's important.
Yeah. So you just started X-Men on Disney Plus.
Yep.
I've just finished DuckTales, the old series. And so I ended up, instead of going to the new DuckTales right away, per suggestions from like you and Adam, I moved to Darkwing Duck, and I'm gonna try and hit the rest of them.
Nice.
Before moving up, DuckTales was the only one that I never found when they released on DVD, like in 2008.
Oh, really? I have it.
Yeah, I've got Darkwing Duck, I've got Tailspin, I have Rescue Rangers all on DVD, so I've seen those a lot more recently than I had seen DuckTales.
Sure.
But I'm ended up just going to go through them anyway, just as a fresh slate before moving into the new DuckTales, where they do the sort of more shared universe style.
Yeah, I strongly recommend doing it that way. If at all possible, I guess since you're watching it on Disney Plus, of course it's possible. I would say watch. So you said you're doing Darkwing now?
Yeah.
Okay, I would do Rescue Rangers after that, and I would do Goof Troop, then Tailspin.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple missing here that have been lost to the ether.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they're not in the right order.
Oh, I definitely know they're not in the right order. Hence, I had like questions asking you about like the certain appearance of various characters. I'm like, this doesn't seem like it's going in the right way.
Yeah. Fair enough, RPD. But yeah, like I gotta recover my old hard drive, so I can rewatch Buffy. because I have old digital copies of it banging around on that hard drive. And Angel.
Angel's great.
Angel's so good. We were talking about it in the Arkham Trapped in Arkham planning chat the other day. Like Firefly, so Firefly is often touted as Joss Whedon's best show. Respectfully, I think it's Angel.
I can understand Angel, especially more than Firefly. Angel is solid.
Yes, they do have the pilot. Yeah. It's just not. It's not in the right order. It's not presented first, which is very odd to me.
For what? DuckTales?
DuckTales, yeah.
Oh yeah. Because I remember, I got like halfway through the first season, and all of a sudden it was like, this seems like the pilot. What's going on? Scrooge has like lost all of his character growth into.
Well, even the physical copies didn't play them in the right order.
Yeah.
Which was I was like, Disney, why? What possible thing do you have to gain from playing these out of order? In the words of Nicole Hendizadeh, that makes no sense. All right, there we go. Looking good, looking good. Oh. All right, arm wraps. So is 90s fantasy series going to become a recurring motif? Can we expect Highlander this series anytime soon? Looks like Greg's ears were burning, Rudy.
Yeah, did he just pop in?
He did. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Buffy is probably one of the. Oh no, we were just trashing on you for talking over everybody every now and again. We all do it. We're all guilty of it. I also don't think any of us were used to having a. I'm going to call what Taffy did the administrative player. So we all kind of like would grab at tokens and things that Taffy was working on. But I think having that administrative player made things work so much smoother. I'm sorry, I'm not looking in that direction. I'm missing things. Gotta find some flesh tone for this girl. And arm, shoulder, neck. It's a very different approach to flesh than what I usually, painting in general than I usually use. It's having me do a lighter base coat and then darken it with inks.
Yeah, it is very bizarre.
Well, I'm willing to give it a shot.
Trust the app?
In app we trust. It would be a lot better if I could see what I'm doing. It's the unfortunate part of black primer is sometimes it's difficult to see what you're doing.
That is most definitely true.
Good night, Greg. Have a good one.
See you, Greg.
It also doesn't help that this model is posed differently than she is presented in the art.
Oh.
And by differently, I mean wildly differently. There's some amount of guesswork to what I'm doing right now, which I'm okay with. Like, I mean, under normal circumstances, I'm not painting with an app at all, or painting with a reference image at all. By normal circumstances, I mean like when I'm painting Chaos Dwarfs.
Now he's starting to look a little bit more like Deathstroke.
Yeah.
And not Cyclops or something.
Yep, I gotcha. I need a smaller base brush. Because if I'm not careful, I'm going to slop paint all over something I've already painted.
Don't you just hate it when that happens?
Ugh, it's the worst. So in a desperate attempt to make sure the kiddos were wearing their masks yesterday, I vandalized a whiteboard.
Yeah?
I drew the Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember seeing your post about this.
Oh, yeah.
It made me snicker.
I mean, all credit to Bryce Dallas Howard for coming up with that one, or for posting the original version of that one. And like, I would that I had more time to do proper art, because, like, obviously I can draw a lot better than that, but I was like, I am seizing this opportunity to be snarky. This is the way, Ian. I think I just wrote, like, masks up, this is the way. Or be like the Mandalorian, you know, never take your mask. Oh, it was be like the Mandalorian, never take your mask off in front of people, this is the way. The kids seem to enjoy it, so. Well, so the whiteboard in question, RPD, belongs to the cafeteria. And usually she uses it to write menus and things on. But because the menu is kind of fixed now, there's nothing on the whiteboard, and they can't eat in the cafeteria, which is a thing. Oh shoot! I forgot to paint her feet.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. So I guess it's more commandeering the whiteboard than vandalizing it. No regrets. No raggarts. The sculptor gave up on her feet too.
That was the worst pick.
Feet?
Yeah.
I agree. Feet and hands. Both just utter nightmares. This particular assassin reminds me an awful lot of the Wraith. Just knives for days. Bandages instead of a costume. And the
I was about to say that cloak is a touch redder.
Yeah.
But that's an easy fix. First your bandana.
Somewhere Adam's preparing to bust through the wall and yell, everyone nearby out if he says the L word in this foot discussion.
The L word?
I'm not sure. I'm missing something.
I'm assuming it's someone involved with the character I'm holding on right now also.
Liefeld. Oh, gotcha. Adam, the Liefeld defender. Now, to be fair, Rob Liefeld is fine.
Except he's kind of an asshole.
Well, sure.
See, when he was actually working on Deathstroke for DC in the New 52, I'm friends with the guy who was his editor, and he was just like, Rob Liefeld was like the worst person he's ever had to work with.
Oof.
He's just constantly trouble. It was hard getting his getting his pages in and all that general stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess when you're talented.
Right? Sure. Do whatever the darn well you please. Alright, it's time for some lead belcher.
Lead belcher. Yum.
I'm glad we both went that way with it. No, I don't know. What the heck is dark steel? I don't mean the magic set. Alright, let's try that. Alright. We are indeed going to go. My friend works at the COVID ward in the hospital. As he's such, he goes into the full multi-layers of protection. He often says this is the way, or I have altered the deal to his patients. I love it. Man, working in a COVID ward, that's so scary. Much prop to those who have to do it. Does this help? It does. Okay. He works on the order of 2 weekends a month. Oh. Well, I mean, still.
Don't know why I did that. I meant to do the other thing. When I meant to change brushes, I like closed the pot and went to change paints.
I do that all the time, and it drives me up a wall.
It's like, nope. Stop, reverse that.
Strike that, reverse it, carry on, thank you. That was a great movie. The original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, frightening too, though. Like, Gene Wilder got real.
Yeah.
When does Gene Wilder not show one how real things can get? That's true. He is very good at getting real with people.
Okay, so I think it got all the blues and oranges down.
Nice.
And I just gotta...
Oh no, stop, don't do that.
What?
Gene Wilder.
Oh. So like this Deathstroke model from Night Models is an older one that they released late last year, I think.
Yeah.
They just released like a new. This is also for like their DC miniatures game, as opposed to the Batman. They've got like 2 concurrent miniatures games.
Oh, that's confusing.
Yeah. They use completely different systems, but like the Batman one is based on more street level like thugs and minions and things, and obviously like the DC one is like superheroes and like high powered stuff.
Sure.
So depending on the type of game you want to play, you've got options. But they just released a new Deathstroke model for the Batman version.
Yeah.
And it's insane. Like I wanted to get it at some point in time. But they've also, like, as a company, have gone to doing a lot more options, I guess is the word. So you can get him, and he has like 3 poses. You can give him one of 5 different weapons. Actually 2, because he can like dual wield or do whatever, like using his different arms. Or you can just give him like one assault weapon. It's just insane how many options they gave for the new Deathstroke.
Sounds like a magnet project.
Yeah. Because I think it's a touch small to do magnets for them.
I don't know. I've done them on pretty small models before. I have a dwarf that I did on. I have 2 different bases I can put him on, depending on what I'm trying to do with him. They tried to make me choose between fantasy and 40k. Yes, a dwarf that can play 40k. And I chose not to choose. I said, you can't make me! We've given you a choice. Yes, but given that it's a stupid choice, I've elected to ignore it. There actually might be part of this model that actually has two different applications of Melon Oil on it. That feel when you might have committed to a motif too late because you didn't realize in time that close quarters combat is going to demand 4 move names that are on brand. Uh-oh.
So I had my D&D game today,
Yeah.
and it was rather uneventful.
Uneventful or eventful?
Uneventful.
Okay.
But once again, the town drunk, aka me, has once again proven to be the moral compass of the party.
Awesome.
Which tends to be the case. We're in like this dungeon with a bunch of illithids that have captured and like it's a giant cult, so they're like sacrificing people to do things.
As you would expect.
Yeah, and so we come across like a whole bunch of prisoners in cages. There's like lizard folks in one room, and dwarves in another, and goblins in a third, and like the rest of the party's just like, oh, it's a bunch of goblins, or oh, let's just kill them while they're in the cage. I'm like, what?
What are you doing?
Don't do that. Like, how does that make you any different than the cult if you do that? And so I ended up freeing up all the goblins and like stopping the party from just mass murdering all of them.
Wow.
Even though they're goblins.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they didn't do anything to you.
Yeah.
So we have, I mean, I've played with innumerable groups at this point, but none of them have really been like an active detriment to the party. None of them are going out of their way to kill something that hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
So it always astonishes me when that sort of thing happens. But so Jenny, Trevor and Jenny had their new baby. Last weekend, and so they're not playing D&D with us right now, and we let's just say mistakes were made, but I think Alex wanted us to make those mistakes. And I think the battle music this week is going to be O Fortuna.
Oh, nice.
Because it's going to be really bad. We may have insulted the Lord of Blades quite egregiously.
Okay.
And being without Trevor and Jenny, that's our healer and our lead close quarters combatant. I don't count myself as a close quarters combatant the way that maybe I should, because I'm a berserker. I'm just gonna hit things. Trevor's a little bit more of a intentional attacker.
Yeah. Just to stay open.
Well, she does. She sure does have that. Our Lord of Blades is female. Yep, she's got all of that. My response was in the vein of one Bender B. Rodriguez. Well, we're boned. Jacqueline remains faithful. We shall see. I don't think Alex is looking for the TPK, as several GMs that I've played with might be in this case, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Now for the base.
Nice.
Mornfang Brown.
Yeah. Classic. I'm doing detail work on the sword, the knives. At a certain point, the party has earned its TPK. No, Jacqueline remains faithful that we will survive. As a storyteller, I don't think I would be looking to kill the party here. There's a lot of cool dangling plot threads that are still yet to be resolved, and a whole bunch of other stuff too. So, Coslius intends to fight until his last breath. So, we'll see what happens. I'm sure I will have an interesting event to report next week. Although, maybe not next week.
I was about to say, yeah, did we mention on stream that
I don't think we
about
did.
that?
Yeah, so being that next week is Labor Day and Brody's going out of town and I would like some time with my family, I think we're going to take next week off. But if I'm home in time, I might work just by myself. So we'll see. If I do work by myself, anyway, yeah. Next week is probably not going to happen. Let's put it that way. Weird. Okay. Need that screen to pink again. Nope, we're just canceling next week. RPD. It just not going to exist. No, I mean, so Labor Day weekend is going to be a long weekend, like an actual long weekend for me. I do have to work at the store, but I have Friday and Monday off, and then remote teaching day on Tuesday. So I'm actually like looking forward to it. Just, I mean, part of that is morbid curiosity. I want to see how those remote days are going to work. No, Gear Up is still going to be on the schedule. Oh, you mean the whole week of streaming? No. No, we will be live Thursday and Friday as well. Just Saturday will be streaming day off. Will you be around Friday, Rudy, or are you taking off early?
No. Yeah, I'm heading to my parents' place on Thursday after work. So right. Friday I'll be gone too.
Okay, cool. So the rest of us will try and beat up the master. Maybe we'll have Taffy on our side this time. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Let's see if I can get this to work. Focus, please.
Come on, camera. Do your job. I think the background on the card is too busy.
Let's grab my white piece of paper. Anyway, yeah.
It's so close. We can almost see it.
Anyway, base coat's down. I'm going to start to wash.
Nice. I'm you know what? I'm going to move to Mechanica Standard Gray, and then I'll patch up some mistakes. The way these knives are sculpted is displeasing to me.
So Drinking Shade is going down over most of the body.
Nightshade?
Yeah, Draken Nightshade, Drakenhoff Nightshade.
It's one of my favorites. Actually, oh, you've just given me a cool idea that I might try. Instead of Null and Oil going down for the shading, I might try Nightshade. Not sure though. I'm way off camera. RPD, that's hilarious. And I hope you get to do it. That's pretty rad. That was what one game I played started with lots of high-level characters from the first session with plot threads and backstory that the GM then brutally murdered. The end of the session was creating all one characters with some tie to the last one giving us. Yeah, we do that a lot. That sort of thing a lot. Yeah. Most of our characters are kind of intimately tied to the previous one in some way. This assassin has like hammer pants. And it's kind of throwing me off.
The best kind of pants.
Can't touch this. Ooh. This gray is coming out a lot better than I expected it to, which is always a good thing to find.
Most definitely.
It's hammer time. I mean, knife time. I mean, yeah. Smoke bombs! Next time I'll be deadly serious next time. Did you see the, both knife wrench time? It's knife wrench time. Did you see the, Scott Pilgrim, t-shirt that I linked up to Adam's Discord the other day?
No, I did not.
It's this really, really adorable picture that Brian O'Malley drew for, it's a charity fundraiser shirt thing. With Ramona with a cat on her head that says adopt.
Oh.
It's super cute. And I definitely dropped $55 on a t-shirt. I feel like that first teacher paycheck after the summer vacation, you know, oh hey, now I'm getting paid again, I almost invariably use on something irresponsible.
No, I completely understand.
Right? You go 3 months without pay and she's like, oh my god, I have money again!
Does your school system not do it like a deferred?
Not really. We get a big balloon paycheck at the end of the year.
Okay.
And then, like, some teachers will set up a special account that'll, like, pay them.
Yeah, a lot of the schools where I live will actually, it's like, you get your salary, but they like still pay you every other week during the summer. It's just, you have, like, less than standard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They can do that, too, I guess. But most of us just choose the lump sum. Less of a headache that way. Also easier to plan in some respects. RPD, what is that?
What is you?
What is you? Oh my gosh. What is you? Yes? No. It's all dependent upon if you can trust yourself with the lump sum. Yes, that's a good point. It's a very good point. I'm very fortunate in, you know, obviously that my wife works year-round, and we have good source of income all the time. The first couple of years, I will be honest, you know, our account suddenly had money in it, and my wife was like, oh, I'm gonna go buy this and this and this and this. I'm like, that money has to last us the summer. Like, it wasn't until my financial advisor kind of explained how that worked to her.
Yeah.
We were also very surprised that, like, with Kate's income, that we ended up getting one of the stimulus checks. We did not expect that, and that went right into savings. Which I know is not exactly what we're supposed to do with it, but our intention is to buy a home.
Which stimulus? The COVID stimulus?
Yeah. That is Karnov from the game Fighters History Dynamite doing his balloon special. Oh, okay, now I see it. He really was unable to hit up here and show his balloon. Oh, really? Oh, that's weird. And interesting. Oh dear. Is that Agrex Earthshade I see?
Most definitely.
Hell yeah.
He's standing on a lump of earth.
Yeah, I guess that makes some amount of sense.
And it needs to be shaded.
Sure does.
So given my general lack of an orange wash, I ended up using, what is it? Terraburg Crimson.
Terraburg Crimson, yeah. One of my faves.
And it looks pretty solid. Just
Yeah.
need to put up some highlights with some more orange. But he is looking pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked with what I can see there. Looks pretty great. I am so excited to paint Deathstroke when so like I have a bunch of Chaos Dwarfs from Forge World that they literally were wearing Deathstroke helmets, and so I definitely painted them up to look like Deathstroke. They're half black, half red.
I didn't even paint in his actual eye slit. Like, it's in there, but like the wash kind of, like the red wash went in, and it's dark. And I debated just adding a little bit of like a black dot in there, but I think it looks great with just the wash in the recess.
Nice. That's that. You know, I tell my students all the time, like, computer scientists, mathematicians, we are inherently lazy people. If there's a way to do something easier, or to do something once and never have to do it again, for example, we will chase that. We will chase that rabbit,
even if it's more complicated and more difficult in the long run.
Yeah. That's amazing, RPD. And I did read your background thing there. That's quite fascinating, to be honest. All right, just her face to go. Base coating. I don't like the mask she's wearing. It's this weird, like, Dia de los Muertos mask. And, it's gonna be tough. Oh, I gotta do some detail on the knives, too. That's gold. Balthazar gold. Alright, let's do that while I'm thinking about it. Maybe. What do with it? Oh. So I didn't know you had gotten on the Elder Dice Kickstarter.
Yeah, I thought I talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Maybe I forgot. That's entirely plausible. I forget a lot of things. I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. Did I have breakfast this morning? Who am I? So which ones are your favorites? Now that they're all revealed.
I like the Sigil of the Dreamlands.
Mm-hmm.
Which might be the one that I'm getting. Which is actually probably one that I'm getting. Mm-hmm. I like what is it? The Eye of Chaos, the last one, or the second to last one.
Mm-hmm.
They revealed like the red and orange.
The red and orange, like, yeah, I love that
great. One. Which will probably be the second set. I bagged for 3.
Me too.
Third set, I'm kind of torn between Dagon or Cthulhu.
Sure. I think at this juncture, well, I'm definitely getting Crown of the Night Mother. That's not even a question for me.
I like that one a lot, and that was on my list until the Eye of Chaos came out, which I like the design more.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty much definitely getting the Dagon one. And beyond that, I'm not 100% certain. I kind of like them all a little bit, but there's none that I'm completely over the moon about. So what I'm going to end up doing, I pledged for a lot more than I initially intended. Because what I'd like to do is put together a sampling, effectively, because my boss at the store can get most of them in at some point. So if I find a set, I found that they, like, I have a few sets of Elder Dice. I've found that they don't look exactly the way that they're pictured.
Yeah.
They're a little duller. And that doesn't bother me. But, you know, it's something worth noting. And so I figure if there's one that stands out and I really, really like it, then I can just have Mike order it later. So what I'm doing is I'm getting the three grimoires plus a booster pack of each one that I don't buy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also, just to make sure that my set is Sentinels RPG friendly, I'm getting a couple sets of D12s and a couple sets of D8s.
Yeah.
So I think I pledged like 170. So I'll get the Doom Edition ones for free. Those were ugly, by the way.
Yeah, like just the solid black with the red. Like, yeah, I was like really unimpressed with that.
I was really disappointed. Like we toiled and toiled and toiled to get that stupid stretch goal unlocked, and it was incredibly disappointing. Oh well. I'm interested to see what those last two stretch goals are.
Yeah. Because for the longest time, the final stretch goal was like revealing the 10th set.
Yeah, and then they were just like, oh hey, here's another one, and we're like, oh, you what?
I'm now having to paint around the cat.
I noticed that. Hello, kitty. As far as Kickstarters are concerned, I've backed Eiyuden Chronicles? I don't know what that is. I think the most exciting Kickstarter that I'm looking forward to right now, other than Sentinels RPG, is the FP Fest. I'm interested to see how he does all that.
I'm really looking forward.
What's that?
The Dragonsteel editions of Way of Kings.
Mm-hmm.
That Kickstarter just ended recently. I'm really looking forward to seeing the final product. They've kicked it into high gear, and it should be delivered in November.
That's awesome. I've put together an SCRPG group for my niece and one of my students at least. We'll get a couple more people still, but that I'm very much looking forward to. We're going to start that probably November over Zoom. And Heian, I definitely get that. Backing too many Kickstarters is a problem that I faced a couple of years ago, and it got bad. Oh shoot. I'm gonna put that away. I just made the same mistake, Rudy.
What?
I went to switch brushes and put the paint away instead. $4.5 million? That's insane, RPD.
For what?
It's the latest in a long line of not games, like how Bloodstained is not Castlevania. This time from the people who behind the highly acclaimed series of RPGs. Something I can't pronounce. It's vaguely Japanese. If it's Japanese, I just pronounce all the letters. Suikoden is how RPD is saying it's pronounced. You know, it's funny. That's exactly the advice that people gave me trying to learn German, or trying to pronounce German. I wasn't trying to learn it. I feel like a lot of languages, that's the advice people give them. People give people trying to learn it. Joe, just pronounce all the letters. Yep, well, sure. It's a light gray. Father. It doesn't work for English. It doesn't work for French either. Which are the two languages that I speak, so... Not very helpful from my perspective. Agreed, RPD. Ooh. That's kind of cool. Okay. I'm going to try something very experimental on this mask.
What you got going on?
So, I'm painting the mask Mechanicus Standard Gray. And then the shade I'm going to use is actually a green shade. And then go lighter gray over that. First be angry, then pronounce all the letters. That's how you do German. Okay, I'll buy it. I'll buy that for $1. Which I believe is from RoboCop.
Yep.
That was a fun movie. I watched that one recently.
I have not seen it in a while.
My favorite bit in RoboCop is the gas station. When he's just like, drop it. Which makes me laugh every time.
Yeah, I do not remember that in particular.
You know, it's not a particularly memorable scene, so I'm not surprised by that. But I think it was Rhett and Link said something about it on one episode. And I'm like, I don't remember that bit. I'm going to go watch RoboCop now. Lo and behold, he does bust into a gas station where a guy is, I think, trying to rob it. And tell him to put down his gun by saying, drop it. Isn't the father from That 70s Show the bad guy in RoboCop?
I have no idea.
RPD, you say the second best Peter Weller movie. What would you claim to be the best? Just some bugs to work out. Oop, sorry. Buckaroo Banzai, yes, okay, very fair. Very fair. Alright. I think... I'm gonna take a quick examination here, but... I do have a little bit more patching up to do, and that makes me sad. I almost just poured lead belcher all over my lap.
That would have been bad.
That would have been really bad. So as I sit here listening to Mega Man music for the zillionth time, my mind begins to wander to other music, other tunes that start with the same chord structure. And I'm struck by just how many songs have the same opening chord structures.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose there is only a finite number of chords that can be used as an opening structure, but I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm sure I had a point at some point, but I think I left my thought train at the station. Almost just had another big error. I leaned my elbow on my keyboard tray and it started to slide.
Yeah. That could have ended in disaster.
Yep. You know, a casual big gray streak across the back of the model. That's exactly what I was looking for. So a while ago I resorted my shelving unit of movies. The top row contains movies I feel like I need a special agreement to show anyone, aka rough stuff even by my standards. Movies that mean a lot to me personally, and video game movie shelves. I need to build some shelves for movies. Mine are currently in boxes in the basement. And that even includes things I've purchased recently, such as the FP. Okay. I think I'm done with base coat. No, I'm not. Gosh darn it. Every time. Every time.
What'd you miss this time?
The back end corner of a knife.
Okay, time for my favorite thing.
Go on.
Making a sort of not natural skin tone color.
Ooh. What a joy.
So I'm working on Killer Frost right now, and I need her to have like a super palish blue skin.
Okay, all right. You ready for this? Think I got you.
Okay.
I think I got you. I'm going to suggest Rakarth Flesh and I need a blue wash that I don't think I have, but I'm trying to come up with the name of it. Oh, okay, so Citadel doesn't have one, but you could. It'd be a risk, but you could mix like Drakenhof Nightshade and Colia Greenshade and maybe get it. Maybe get what you're looking for out of it.
I think what I'm going for right now. I've got a sky blue that I'm starting light, and I'm adding in like my off-white color.
Okay.
Mixing the paint to get a sort of like an icy blue color.
Nice. I approve. I approve. Not that it's up to me.
Yeah.
So I guess I will amend what I've said, and I will say I appreciate. I appreciate. So RPD is continuing his sort here. Second row's first three shelves are for musicals. Then there's the one that's still unsorted, and then my Star Wars stuff. Row 3 is entirely devoted to Danny DeVito voice to trash. Row 4 is legit movies that in a moment that shocked and baffled me is more stuff than the trash shelf. Ian says his top row is TMNT. All right, fair.
Currently, my top row is like the display for the like fancy box sets.
I don't know that I mean I have one fancy box set. It's not even really mine. It's my wife's. We have the deluxe box set of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I've got several. I've got like the Marvel Phase 1 and 2 boxes. I got like the Lion King trilogy and the Toy Story trilogy.
Oh, nice.
I've got the Tron collection that comes in like the identity disc.
Yeah. Okay, here's a question for you, and chat, feel free to jump in. What is the strangest movie purchase or movie? Oh shoot. Yeah. Movie media purchase you've ever made? Or 5 TV shows, and then one more shelf of unsorted. RPD
I think it's like Just in terms of movies, or just like movie related products, or
Yes. To both.
they're neat. But I do have a replica set of Agent Coulson's Captain America cards,
Oh, neat. That is cool. I like that
and
a lot.
they actually come in two sets. So like one set's the pristine mint condition, which is like how it's displayed as, and then the other one has like the fake blood and all the
The
other
ketchup
stuff on it.
stain.
So like
That's
the
really
display thing
nice.
says mint condition and Avengers Assemble.
That's cool. I think mine is probably. I have Die Hard on Laserdisc.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have any laser discs.
I don't have a Laserdisc player certainly, but I do own that, and you know.
I guess I could add that at one like I had the Star Wars Holiday Special on DVD.
On DVD, wow! I've got it on. So I ripped my Star Wars VHS tapes, the originals, like not special edition, totally unmolested by George Lucas. I ripped those to digital, and then I do have I put them on Blu-rays. I'm not sure they work. I've never tried, but there is an Easter egg on one of them that is the Star Wars Holiday Special. It's the A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we got some F-Zero music going. Okay, go ahead, RPD. I am excited for your answer, my dude. Because you're a bad person. I am a bad person, Ian. The first time I watched the Star Wars Holiday Special was with my best friend and one of my college roommates. And Travis was visiting for a weekend. We hadn't seen each other in a while. As he is still wont to do to this day, which is lovely. That's why I like him so much. And my roommate got a bootleg copy of the Star Wars Holiday Special, and I was like, Doug, we have to watch this. And he goes, well, your best friend's in town for like 2 days. You really want to do this? And Travis was like, no, we need to watch this right now. My face was like pretty much the whole time. At one point, Doug opened up the Wikipedia article and started trying to translate what was going on. And then he gave up when Jefferson Starship arrived. And no, Doug and I haven't spoken since college, but we're just different sets, different parts of the world. We do keep in touch. I know he's playing bass in a band these days. He actually called me at one or texted me at one point for some recommendations. That was pretty cool to hear from him. So I shouldn't say we haven't spoken at all since college. We just haven't spoken much. The strangest DVD RPD says he has is his DVD of The Apple, which had to be imported from Spain and features non-removable Spanish subtitles for songs. And unless you tell it to be in English, defaults to the Spanish dub. Weird. strangest moment I've had buying DVDs was when I found the entire Lisa trilogy in a used things store. And then not too long ago found a box set of the trilogy in, of all places, the DVD section of the biggest supermarket in town. That's hysterical. Ilsa trilogy, sorry. That makes more sense. The Lisa trilogy is a set of video games, yeah. Does one of them involve "You Are Tearing Me Apart," Lisa? Alright, that's the basing material down. Get that out of the way. Lisa gets torn apart in at least one of them. Yeah, but what about Johnny? Earthshade. No. Earthshade. And green shade, okay. Earthshade, Nolan oil, and green shade. I can handle that. Johnny's such a great guy. And anyway, I definitely have breast cancer. I can't even say that with a straight face. Breast cancer is not something to laugh at. Don't do that. But when it's never brought up again in the entire plot of the movie, thy laughter is justified. Oh, Tommy Wiseau, you strange, possibly, maybe not human being. Oh, that green shade worked perfectly on the mask. Broody, is your mic working?
Yeah, it's working.
Oh, okay. You're just not saying anything.
Sorry, I'm focusing on like really tiny details right now. So
Okay, that's fine.
I will say I'm rather pleased with this game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until I get like the wash down and stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yesterday was a very interesting day at work.
Okay.
We had some surprise visitors. So, I was doing rounds, and I was in one of our animal buildings, and one of our monkeys, Furby, was just standing in the corner, just like terrified, like just looking above him, just utter panic.
Okay.
And I get to him. I'm just like, what are you doing? What's wrong? And he kind of looks at me and like gives me like this pleading face, like help me please. And like just keeps looking up, and I follow his trail, and I see like a 4-foot long black snake.
Oh God.
Just crawling over the top of the enclosures on the inside of the building. In a spot where we can't get to it, like we have to like drop the trap door, get a ladder, climb up there, navigate the like cable wires and stuff for the guillotine door so they get outside, so the monkeys can go in and outside. We had to like call in like one of our employees that that handles snakes. Essentially, he's a reptile kind of guy. He had to like come over there and like catch the thing. And like everyone was just like, "What? We don't know." Well, I have a suspicion of how it got into the building, but like, because they usually leave the guillotine doors open in the pens that aren't filled, that don't have monkeys in them. And I'm assuming it just came in at one point in time that way.
Probably, yeah. That's terrifying, though.
Yeah, none of us were really pleased with that, and that's just going to be an interesting report we're going to have to write up in the near future. Second one, we found a kitten behind a dumpster at another one of our buildings.
What?
That was horribly emaciated and dehydrated and not doing well. So, like, our vet staff, like, caught it, and then, like, gave it, like, fluids and treated it some, and we ended up sending it home with one of the employees. So that was a happy ending.
Yeah.
But we were not expecting to find a kitten randomly on our property.
Right. Well, yeah, it's good that kitten has a happy ending.
I guess the snake has a happy ending too. We just let it go out in the woods.
Fair enough. RPD says he's a reptilian. Got it. No, RPD, we're not dealing with lizard people. This isn't a job for Cobb Job. RPD is a reptilianoid? Knew it. Hey, Mest, how you doing, man? Yeah, I do. I know. I get it.
I guess also kind of following along that line. This morning I wake up and I head out into the living room.
As one does.
Yeah, and like I see something out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, what is that? And I look over and it was a lizard.
Huh.
Like, in our house. Like, it doesn't really bother me. I was trying to like catch it to let it back out, but
sure.
The cat was utterly useless, waste of space. She just, like, sat there, watched it run past her, and she's like, "Hey, what's up?"
What's that? Okay.
Yeah. And then it like went behind like the piano and then it was like, "Well, guess it's there now."
Yep.
I was like, you'll probably eat bugs or do something, so I will just. I don't even care that much.
Right? I'm oddly quite happy with how this came out. Or is coming out, I should say. Not done yet. Not out of the dark yet. Yeah. Oh!
What's wrong?
My paint can, my Dawnstone just made a loud racket when I opened it. Nothing bad, just unexpected. Highlight code on that, but what does it want me to do on a red? Pink horror. The question is, do I have that one? I'm gonna guess probably. Oh my god, I do!
Hooray!
Hoorah! Neat.
So I think I was mentioning this morning how I got all of my got this stuff that I was planning to paint tonight primed.
Yeah, like right before it started raining. Yeah.
Yeah. I had looked at this the weather last night because it was like raining last night. Oh man, and the afternoon before I got home from work, it was already raining.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it's gonna rain through the night, and it's gonna stop at like 7 in the morning.
Yep.
And then it's gonna like has like an 80% chance to rain from like 9 o'clock through the rest of the day.
Huh. Yep.
So I was like, okay, I've got a 2-hour window where I hope it's gonna like be dry enough, like A, not raining, B, a little less humid.
Yep. Sure.
So I had gotten up, gotten everything ready, had the lizard encounter.
The lizard encounter.
Got all of the stuff base. And was like, okay, I need to get out there and do it. And so like I went out there with the minis, primed them. Like as I finished, like little like sprinkles were happening. So I like went back inside, and then that like it started to come down a little bit heavier.
Sure.
Went to go get lunch, and there was like a decent amount, but like not too bad. And at this point in time, it was like 11:30 or something like that. So it held off a little bit from what the forecast said.
Yeah.
I drive out to get lunch, and it's raining. By the time I get back, it had stopped. And then the rest of the afternoon, like all day, bright and sunny.
Oh, no.
Nice and dry. And I was like,
Oh, that's frustrating. So how close are you to calling it?
I think I'm good. I just watched Killer Frost as well, so...
Okay, cool. Then I will not start on the next layer, because I think 2 hours and 30 minutes is pretty much exactly our target butter zone. So thank you all so much for hanging out tonight. Thank you, RPD, Miss Drake, Hean, who's... My words cannot come out all of a sudden. Thank you, RPD, Miss Drake, Hean, etc. Twitson was here for a little while. Yep. Oh yeah. We should probably show off what we've done. Here's the assassin, ready to stab you, or slice you, or whatever. We will obviously be adding some detail in the morning when the light is better. Mike, it is always a pleasure hanging out with you, my dude.
Yep.
Honestly, could not have. I do not feel like this show would be nearly as successful without you. So as we said, Mike and I will be taking a week off of this show next week, but all the rest of my shows will be happening. I'll be live tomorrow night on the Handelabra channel for Tales from the Archive. Thursday we'll do Zach and Alex Gear Up, and Friday we'll be Trapped in Arkham, which is actually Trapped in Sunnydale, but that's fine. We're still calling it Trapped in Arkham for branding reasons. Yeah, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful week, and we will talk to you real soon. Bye, everyone.
See ya.